What's up, horse racing fans? Welcome to another episode of the Inside Post. Here we are with another episode for our Kentucky Derby betting breakdown. Again, looking at how to structure your tickets, whether you're an exacta better, trifecta better, or a superfecta better, or even if you're using some of these horses in your multi-race wagers of pick fours, pick fives, pick threes, daily doubles, Oaks and Derby double, or if you're just a straight win play show better. Here we go. All right. So last week we had our horses that we were marking out: Continuar, Disarm, Reincarnate, Wild on Ice, Sun Thunder, Confidence Game, and we did have Rocket Can. We switched him with Lord Miles. Um, just by looking at some of their pedigrees, looking at their workouts as they have shipped in from outer tracks into Churchill Downs, we've kind of switched these two. Lord Miles gets the strike through, tossed on our tickets. Rocket King gets the promotion. Um, Jace's Road also draws in after the defection of Blazing Seven, so he's kind of on the outside looking in. We kind of don't know what to do. We're still waiting to see a little bit more information on Jace's Road. We just kind of started digging into his pedigree, his works, and looking at some of his past preps. So we have 5 money bags or horses that we think are money horses that we are going to use on our tickets, that we will be giving out, and then 4 check marks of horses that you definitely have to use that could be potential winners. So first money bag, obviously we're going with Rocket Can. He's a new one. We really dug into this horse's pedigree. We did a special video of horse or Kentucky Derby pedigrees, and wow, Into Mischief on the sire side, on the dam side, out of tension, has the tap it. So definitely has the speed, has the distance, has not done fairly well since running in the Holy Bull, but a horse that could be there at a decent price of 45-1. Still waiting to see some workouts that this horse has put in on the Churchill surface. So once he does, this horse could get promoted, maybe moved into our Kentucky Derby top 10. Next, I think is Hit Show. This horse is so close to earning a check mark of a must use. Um, I just think gets beat by a terrible neck, against Lord Miles in the Wood Memorial. The horse was the big betting favorite or heavy favorite in there, and just kind of runs out of room. Gets a little bit more here with the Kentucky Derby, a little bit more traffic, however, to maneuver through also. Um, but one that a lot of people were high on in that prep race, and I think a lot of people will kind of be high on as well in here, especially at 25-1. Can't discount him, um, just from what he's done before in the wood. Seems to be one that's improving with some speed, has some tacticalness again. And then just kind of interesting to see what this horse is going to do based off of pace. We are kind of up in the air right now. A lot of people are talking what's the pace going to be. Dermis Otagaki, the Japan horse, probably going to go to the lead. We don't know. But with his speed, he should be kind of the pace setter. And then what's going to happen after that? Are we going to have a complete meltdown of the pace? We're going to have a slow fractions. Then what happens? So hopefully it's not pure chaos and we have just horses running all over the course based off of a reckless pace. Third money bag, of course, Mage, the wise guy horse. Everybody's talking about this one. Second to Forte in the Florida Derby. Lightly raced, really hasn't done anything wrong. Got beat by a head or a neck in that race as well. Forte got into a little bit of traffic, but was able to catch Mage at the wire. So you kind of have to use Mage. If you like Forte, you like Mage. If you like Tapit Trice, you have to like Verifying. It's just kind of how those have set up, just because they've almost ran equally distant races. It could just be a matter of a neck or a nose or a head or even a jockey, on some of these horses and what they're able to do. Next, we got Two Fills. Like this horse at 18-1. Again, Turfway shippers, you're either on them or you're not on them. Again, look at last year. You had Rich Strike coming out of the Jeff Ruby Stakes. Was based kind of at Turfway Park, ships in, gets drawn in off the also eligible list, and again, one of the horses that has a good pace setup and is able to pass the 2 front runners. Um, Less likely to happen, but I think Two Fills is a great horse. Has great connections. You gotta love, um, Larry Ravelli, and I believe Jareth Loveberry will be on this horse. Um, so anything can happen. At 18-1, definitely one you have to throw in with your exactas and trifectas just because of his running style. Seems to be one that's moving forward or improving. So hopefully we don't get any regression. Still waiting to see this horse ship in just because connections are pretty close to Churchill. So he hasn't shipped in yet. But hopefully by the weekend he puts in some works on the track and we can see what he looks like coming out of that Jeff Ruby Stakes. And our last price currently, where are we going? Verifying. Yes, verifying. Just because I said, if you like Tapit Trice, you got to like verifying. Again, beaten by a neck or a head seems to be one that could be making a step forward or improving coming into the Derby. Um, I believe has put a few works in on the Churchill track. Um, Interesting to see what this one does coming in. Um, However, we're kind of off or on Tapit Trice right now. We really don't know what to do with him. But we're thinking verifying in that third or fourth slot right now, especially with odds of 16-1 and a horse that looks to be kind of building up to something big. So now we're diving right into our check marks. First off, you got to go Derma Sotogake. A lot of people talk about this horse coming from Japan, bred for this type of race, bred for speed. Out of Mind Your Biscuits. Looking on the other side, I believe it's Secretariat Seattle Slew that he has on his mother's side. Posted a pretty good work today, actually, Wednesday, April 26th, where he was running with his stablemate or shipping mate in Continuar and kind of had a really nice gallop out that a lot of people were talking about. So if you're a speed better, Dermasotogake is definitely one. Probably going to be the second, maybe even the third betting choice um, come post time. It'll be interesting to see what type of post draw he gets and then what his morning line odds will be. Third, Angel of Empire. This horse has been going back and forth, second or third pick for us. We really liked how he came out of the Arkansas Derby. We really liked how he won the Arkansas Derby as well, kind of making that big sweeping move and kind of pulling away towards the end. Has great connections. In here, I believe gets Florent Giroux aboard again. Um, so one that's going to have to take another step forward, keep improving on his speed figures, and this is a pretty good race for him to win, or should be set up for him to win. One that we're going to use, especially at 10-1, we're hoping he stays at double-digit odds and not drop down to a single-digit odd. I think a lot of these other horses are going to take a lot of money, and it's going to pull that money away from Angel of Empire. Next, we got Forte getting the check mark in here. Obviously, our horse in our Kentucky Derby top 5 has been our horse in our Derby number 1 spot for a while. We dropped him out of that spot recently, just because we weren't really impressed with one of his workouts that he put in. And then our Irad's kind of been on a cold streak at Keeneland, which it's Keeneland. Everybody can get cold at Keeneland, but hopefully it doesn't do anything to Irad mentally. He gets back on this horse that he loves, and he probably has a good chance of winning a Kentucky Derby on. Just right now, he's sitting in that 1-2 spot behind currently our Derby number 1 in Practical Move. Cannot discount the California shippers or horses coming from California breds. No, this horse is not a Bob Baffert horse. This horse has been Tim Yakteen since day one. Since the horse was basically picked up from his connections, they knew Tim Yakteen was going to be the trainer. Wasn't really very impressive like most have been in the Santa Anita Derby. He did beat out Mandarin Hero, a big Japan shipper that a lot of people was talking about. So something to account for. Needs to take a big step in his speed figures going forward. He doesn't really have a whole lot of that big speed that we usually see some of these California horses have. But one, I think with his stamina and tacticalness, that he should set up really well in the Kentucky Derby on Kentucky Derby Day. So there's kind of our breakdown. We give you 5 price horses with our 4 must-use winners, and horses that we've kind of marked off or struck through that we do not like and probably won't use on some of our tickets. However, all this could change. We will probably do one more video before post draw of our Kentucky Derby betting breakdown. Um, we'll see a couple more works coming in through the weekend, then send out one last betting breakdown before they get their post positions. And then it's all about the Kentucky Derby week, where we will be diving into the Derby Day card, the Derby Day race itself, looking at some pace scenarios that we could see, and giving you one final betting breakdown or betting guide for the big race on the first Saturday in May. We thank you for watching. As always, make sure to hit that like button, give us a subscribe, leave a comment of who you like. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before Kentucky Derby Day. So make that happen. Share this video on any of your social media accounts and show us some love. Thank you.